violence and threats against pro-life advocates have ramped up in recent weeks as we await the Supreme Court's decision on Landmark's abortion case, Dobbs versus Jackson. Assassination attempt on conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh. His life has turned our attention to the lawless and violent behavior of Democrats and their supporters. Our next guest says she isn't surprised that they came for Brett Kavanaugh, since the White House excuses violence as long as it aligns with their political agenda. Joining me now is Washington editor of The Spectator, Amber Athey. Hey, lady, it's great to see you again. You know, the New York Times actually buried the assassination attempt against Kavanaugh. The only other place that one would expect such an action to happen is WMAL in Washington. You know, Americans should push back hard on Democrats in and out of the media who are trying to normalize or downplay violence against constitutional conservatives, no?
Yes, and the New York Times buried that on page 20. It was so egregious that even left-wing comedian Bill Maher called them out for doing so and said that it was a misuse of the media's power. NPR, which is actually paid for by your taxpayer dollars, didn't cover the story at all, and none of the Sunday shows covered this assassination attempt. And they're not only covering for left-wing violence, but they're covering for the fact that Democrats in particular have used language that by their own standards would constitute inciting violence. If you go back 2 years ago, when the idea of overturning Roe v. Wade was first being discussed, Chuck Schumer held a rally where he talked about Brett Kavanaugh unleashing the whirlwind and how he was going to pay the price. What price exactly does a Supreme Court justice pay? They're not elected officials. They can't be voted out of office. They have a lifetime appointment. You have the White House encouraging people to protest out of Supreme Court justices' homes. President Joe Biden even promising a mini revolution if Roe v. Wade were overturned. I mean, they're the same people talking on the January 6th committee right now that President Trump saying the word fight at a rally was an incitement at the Capitol. So this is a clear double standard, and the media is helping them cover it up for it all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I remember Chuck Schumer said, you know, you won't know what hit you. A physical threat by name to two sitting Supreme Court justices from Chuck Schumer, and nobody said a word boo. We see no urgency right now in providing security for the justices from leftists like Nancy Pelosi, and we see no urgency in finding the draft leaker from the Supreme Court from the liberal Chief Justice John Roberts. Why?
Yeah, isn't that bizarre that we have only a few liberal justices on the court and they only have so many clerks, and yet somehow it seems super difficult to figure out exactly who the leaker was. I mean, I believe that there have been quite a few Twitter sleuths who have gotten closer to finding the leaker than Chief Justice John Roberts has, just by going through relationships between the reporter that ultimately published that leak at Politico and some of the clerks for the various liberal justices. And I wouldn't be surprised if John Roberts is just trying to memory hole this. We know that he has sided with liberals on the court many times before, and it wouldn't surprise me if he actually welcomes this and hopes that the justices will change their mind to avoid overturning Roe v. Wade because he doesn't want the controversy.
Chief Justice John Roberts, one of the lasting contributions from George W. Bush to our lives. Let's move on. Today's January 6th high-tech lynching was canceled. They blamed a labor shortage, oddly enough. Democrats are coming off as cold in this whole thing. They're coming off as callous, and they're coming off as unfair, making Trump actually a sympathetic figure by ignoring the suffering of their own constituents, too, these Democrats. They're looking for an off-ramp, in my opinion, now that their fundraising effort is done courtesy of the major three networks. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Just look at the ratings. The American voters don't care about this. It's not even in their top 20 issues that they care about heading into the midterms. The Democrats are trying to distract from the fact that inflation just grew at the fastest rate in over 4 decades, that by every measure, the economy is in the tank, so they have to find anything else to focus on. I actually don't believe that this was a postponement due to exhaustion or a lack of staffers. I think they saw the ratings come out last week and realized they needed to make a change. Otherwise, people were going to continue to tune out. Look, across all 3 broadcast networks in prime time, they only were able to get 20 million viewers. By comparison, the nightly newscasts, which actually occur at an earlier hour and therefore should have lower viewership, typically get about 7 to 10 million per network. So if you combine all 3, it's far more than these January 6th show trials.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a disgrace. And And it's shame on those networks for putting something. I think I was looking at some analysis the other day that this is the first time in history that we can remember, as long as we've had television, where you had the network say, we're going to put a purely partisan, one-sided kangaroo court in prime time, and it shows you the political leanings of these major networks. Last night, Democrat Representative Benny Thompson, he's the chair, as you know, of the January 6th committee. He's also a member of the Congressional Black Communists. He said there would be no criminal referral for President Trump or anybody else after these proceedings. Liz Cheney firing back, quote, "The January 6th Select Committee has not issued a conclusion regarding potential criminal referrals. We will announce a decision on that at an appropriate time." Trouble in paradise, in socialist paradise, Amber?
Well, of course, Liz Cheney was only ever on this committee in the first place because she had a personal bone to pick with former President Donald Trump. I haven't seen any